Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please, no mushing or crowd surfing. Enjoy tonight's performance.
We're there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive. DeaconLive.
Live.
Welcome back, guys. It is Deacon Live. On today's show, drugs are bad, okay? Or are they compared to studies? Totally fucked that up. We have a new intro and stuff, so I'm gonna try that again. Let's start over. Stop. From the beginning. Of course, now the texts come in. We'll start from the beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please, no mushing or crowd surfing. Enjoy tonight's performance.
We're there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive. DeaconLive.
Live.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, drugs are bad, okay? Or are they compared to studies that have shown this? We are donating money. What? Maybe I should read these before I do the show. Try it again. Okay, drugs are bad, okay? Or are they? Studies show. Why don't I print that out? So, or are they? I don't need that. Or are they? Why are we donating money to the fire? Is this the best baby changing table ever? And what does till death do us part in prison life mean? Really mean. All right, let's try it again. So much complications. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please, no mushing or crowd surfing. Enjoy tonight's performance.
We're there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive. DeaconLive.
Live.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, drugs are bad, okay? Or are they? Why are we sending money to a fire? And is this basically the best baby changing table ever? And what does till death do us part in prison life really mean? All this and much, much more here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are you doing? It's been a while. I know it's been a while. It's been a while. We've been updating some stuff. Updating the new logo here. It's 2020. 2020. You guys you making it through so far, I guess? I don't know. Are you guys doing okay? I always ask if you're doing okay because I care. I care about you generally. I care about you. That's why we do the show and we try to bring you all this information that we find on the internet and all the stories and stuff that you might not have heard of. And it's funny because I think my wife, like I said several podcasts ago, my wife and I, we always listen to the podcast back. And she will sit there and I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me that? Why? I'm like, well, babe, if I tell you everything that goes on in the world and I do the podcast, then it's no fun for you. So I just want to you're my medium. You're my muse. My current, did I change this? Please tell me I did. No, I'll do it right now. You are my litmus test as far as what we do here on Deacon Live. We are Deacon Live. give us a call here at the station at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time in the Queen City studio located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And before I go on, we have another sponsor for the show, and that is Real Deals. Sorry, messed it up already. Our sponsor, our latest sponsor of the program is called Real American Deals. And what they do is they're based out of Kansas City, Missouri, and they get you all these people that are, you know, as seen on TV or products that aren't getting like mainstream recognition, and so that they go through Real American Deals and they put them out there, and they're all legit. They're all very good. We posted some Donald Trump socks the other day on the old Facebook page, and make sure you follow them on Facebook. That's Real American Deals, brought to you by Profit Radio. So how are you? I guess I've already asked that. It is the middle of January, and you know what happens in the middle of January? Everyone freaks out because they give up. They give up on everything. They give up on working out. They give up on doing what they were supposed to do. They've already busted through their New Year's resolution. They've already busted through, you know what? I was going to quit doing this. I was going to start doing this. I was going to do this more. I was going to do this less. And, the third week of January, everyone's like going on, you fall right back in the same rut. You fall right back in the same rut as far as, what you were doing last year. Now, I was watching one of our local affiliate at Fox News affiliate up here. They had someone on there that explained something to you to say, how do you get through that rut? How do you get over that hump, that 3-week hump in the first 3 weeks of the new year? And she says, well, make goals, make small little goals. And then, if you collect a bunch of small little goals, then you have one big medium goal. And then one big medium goal ends up being, that you did it for the whole month. Prime example is what she said is I'm not gonna eat sugar, let's say today. All right. So today I'm not going to take in any sugar. I'm not going to do anything. My coffee, it's going to be, Splenda or something like that. I'm not going to put, and then you get through that day. And then the next day you're like going, you know what? I didn't do sugar today. I'm going to try no sugar tomorrow. And you do sugar tomorrow and so on and so forth. Just they're baby steps. They're baby steps. And then by the end of the month, you're like going, you know what? I didn't have any sugar in my coffee all month long. And then you can go to the next step in February. And you go, you know what? I'm going to the gym. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was doing the better me, better new year, new me, and I'm doing thumbs to this guy. I actually joined Planet Fitness, and I'm familiar. I'm very familiar with gym life. I know what gym life is. I know that there's always those weird dudes that are walking around. They shouldn't be wearing what they're wearing. There's women in there, men in there, but I don't go to the high end. Not that I can't afford it, but I don't go to the high end workout centers. I don't go to the LA, the La Fitness, I don't even go. I don't go, so I don't know the names of them. The high end fitness centers. I just go to the basic, all my life, all through school, high school, college and stuff. It was always the YMCA or whatever gymnasium stuff that we had at our school. So when Planet Fitness came around, and I don't know what year Planet Fitness came around, but it was probably soon after I got out of high school. I was I was going to a community college at the time, and I think Planet Fitness came out about that time, which was a great idea. No contracts, no nothing. Give me $10 a month, and you get all this. They did it quantity. All these mass people that would sign up and then don't go. The Bally. Oh, what was the Bally one? That was the big one. You'd sign up for 3 years, and you paid $36-something a month for 3 years. And I know people in high school, they were like going, well, my mom signed me up, but I'm not going this month or next month or the next month. And right there, there's $400 already thrown down the drain. 10 months later, gone. Now, Planet Fitness, I know the routine. I know it's not a fashionable place. It's not a, look, it's not like the big muscle heads and stuff. It's general people, everyday people that you see like I hate to say Walmart, but the people you see in Walmart are the ones that are going to Planet Fitness, and they're doing the treadmills and stuff. But there's an etiquette to a certain degree, there's an etiquette. You know, you wipe down the machines. Man, I got gas all over the place. I have to stand up. Hold on. I got a burp, but it won't come out. But there's an etiquette. There's an expectation when you go into a gym that what? Everyone's going to, you know, not do mega sets on stuff. And for those of you who work out regularly know what mega sets are. You know, one person takes up 3 machines at the same time. You know, they jump to the leg curl, and then the leg extension, and then the leg press, and they bounce and be, hey man, I'm on that machine still. Well, you're over there on that machine. How can you be on this machine? So that's an etiquette. Wiping down the machines, and gyms have gotten now with the Mercer and stuff. They got to a point where they give you the sanitation stuff, which is basically, I don't know, it's like Windex in a bottle to me. I don't know. I can't tell what it is. And they give you paper towels to wipe down the machines and stuff. Normally, back in the day, you just bring your own towel and you just wipe the machine down as you go on. So you take, here come the text messages at 407-448-8800. You can text us live anytime in the Queen City studio. And so you just take your disease and spread it to that machine and spread it to that machine, and all of a sudden, some guy that you've never seen before, his arm's rotting off because he's got Mercer or something, because back in the day, they never disinfected the machines. Now, that's a big thing. Another thing is, and I'm starting to, you know, they have the TVs up there so you can watch them, or some gyms have the personal TVs on the treadmill or the stair climber or whatever in front of you. But now with the smartphones and stuff, I've got Netflix, I've got Hulu, I've got I don't have the Kodi stick because that would mean jailbreaking my phone to get the Kodi stick on there. But I watch movies now on Netflix or HBO or any of the paid subscription things that you get, the monthly fee. And some of them aren't, you know, I don't want to say family friendly, but they're not socially, publicly friendly. For example, I'm standing there on the treadmill. I'm getting ready to start my day, and I'm watching the new show Witcher. I've seen a couple of my nerdy friends on Facebook post that it's really good and action-packed and all that stuff. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'll check it out. This person really hasn't steered me wrong. Man, have I got a burp. Hold on. Oh. Ugh. All right, there we go. So I started the first episode of The Witcher, and right out of the gate, it's you know, blood and gore and slicing and dicing and all that stuff. And then about halfway through, they're about 1 hour episodes, 60-minute episodes. There is a nude scene. There's a nude scene, and I'm sitting there with my little, I don't know, Galaxy S7, S8. I don't know. I always get the free upgrade, which is always like two steps behind of what the new phone is. So I've got like the Galaxy S8, and it's got the OtterBox on it, and I'm sitting it up on the treadmill, and I'm watching it, and I always keep my towel over the numbers. You know, once you put all your numbers in and stuff, you don't want little people looking at you and seeing what you're doing, and you know, how fast you're going, or how many calories you burn and how long you've been on there. And then they look at it and go, oh, you've been on there for 30 minutes. And they see the calorie count and you're like, oh, you only burned like 150 calories because you're walking. You're doing this really, really slow walking. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone's got their own pace. But I sit there and I always, if I always walk at a incline. Always like 5.5 or whatever like that. And a nice steady clip is where I walk. So I'm sitting there with my phone, and I've got the towel like resting over the numbers, and I'm holding on to the back of you can see this on the under the tent here. So I'm holding the live video. I'm holding onto the back of the thing while I'm walking, and I'm watching the video. And there's a nude scene, and I mean full on ass, bush, tits. I don't know. Was there a face? I don't know. I wasn't looking at that part, but I had to like I literally was like looking around. You know, here it is, 9 o'clock in the morning, granted, it's an adult place, so there's no kids in there. There's no teenagers in there. But there's other people, judgy people, they say it's a judge-free zone, but they're looking, they're seeing what I'm what I'm watching, and I kind of freaked out. I'm like, oh shit, fucking tits. And I take the towel and I'm like trying to cover up that side of the screen of the phone, and and then I'm listening to it on my headphones. So I'm listening for the scene to change, and I pull the towel back. Oh shit, yep, still naked, and pull the towel back, and then okay, now they've gone on to the next scene. And then the very next scene is this brutal bloodbath fight. And I'm not giving anything away if you haven't seen Witcher. It's a great show. It's better seen on a theater screen, television, like our new theater room that we have here at the French. And the colors and the aspects and everything is really, really, really good. The action's very, very tight. And it's very well written for the most part. It's a little corny at places, but it's not something I want to watch on my little phone. So I'm watching the first episode just to get through it, just see if I like it or not. And, the next scene is a big bloodbath. Everyone's getting their heads chopped off. Everyone's arms are flaying and blood squirting everywhere and knives going into people's necks and coming out and all this. And I literally sat there and I go, oh, this is fine. I'm fine. I'm fine watching this on my phone in the middle of this gym. This public gym, and I'm walking on the treadmill. But I had doubts about the nudity part, which, is that a double standard? I was really nervous about someone looking over my shoulder and looking at the nude part rather than, oh, look, that guy's head's laying, 3 feet from him and there's blood spilling out all over the floor. So that was my, going back to the gym, and I'm still going back to the gym. I started on my birthday. And this is like 2 weeks later. Outside of Saturday and Sunday, I've only missed one day. I've only missed one day because we're doing something here at the French, and we were having horse trailers dropped off and horses picked up, and so I couldn't get to the gym. I like to get there at least by 9 o'clock in the morning after I do my morning chores and stuff. So I'm doing well. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're staying on task. And this episode, we're going to get into a lot of crazy stuff that's happened in the last couple days, actually the last week or so, and I'll give you an update of what we're doing here on DeaconLive. So stick around. I'll be right back. Hate the first segment. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. My stomach is getting upset. It's my new diet. I hate calling it a diet because it's just a change of what we're eating. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Give us a call anytime at the station at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time in the Queen City studio at that same number. And make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff. And don't forget, we have a new sponsor of the show. Signed up. I don't want to get into details, but they'll be with us for the next 12 months. And that is Real American Deals. And the way you find out what they do is go to our Profit Radio and look for the Real Deals section. And that's them. And what they do is they actually got some Trump 2020 socks up there. So if you want some, keep your cold feet warm, get some Trump 2020 socks. I think they're like $15 or something like that. But that's what they do. It's a company out of Kansas City, Missouri. Excuse me. Company out of Kansas City, Missouri, and they're doing great stuff. They're helping the little man get bigger and providing American products to us across the land via Profit Radio and Deacon Live. So now, Deacon Live here. We're you heard the opening of the show, and I did that. I have to fix it. I've been working on that for the last couple days. I had some time alone here in the studio, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I'm trying to keep it kind of like the original, but I want to make it new and updated and stuff. You know, if you stop swimming, you're dead. So I'm gonna fix that. And we also have the new. I'm waiting for it to come back from the proofs to come back from the designer. We have a new Deacon Live logo that we're going to be sharing with you guys here soon. If you're listening to this on the podcast, on the podcatchers, You'll probably see it on the your iHeart thing or your iTunes or whatever like that. So it'll be a new logo, a little bit more edgy, I guess. I don't know. Now, one thing I do want to say is my wife and I, we've been married. Actually, this year will be 7 years. We got married. We both of us got married later in life. It took us a while to find each other. And when we found each other, we said, yep, you're the one. And I said, you're the one. And so we've been continuing on. And this year will be 7 years for us. So congratulations to us, or hand claps to me. But I do have some friends that we were talking about high school, people working out in the gyms and stuff, and high school kids in there. I still know people that have married their high school sweetheart. They're still together, and they have like 3 or 4 kids together. And I just think that's just weird, but I don't know. I mean, everyone's home life is different. Everyone was raised by different everyone was raised by different parents. You know, your home style, your lifestyle at home is completely different. I don't want to say one's good or one's bad. It's just that the way that you were brought up and who you came across in your lifetime and who you decided to, that's it, you're the one. Now, I say that because I started watching on my at the gym season 2 of the show called You. Have you seen that yet? Yeah, You. It's kind of like the modern day version of Dexter. And I needed that craving, that inner monologue of him, talking about what's going on and how everything goes. And it's good. It's really good. But he's got problems with relationships in itself. But if people who married their high school sweetheart, I'm sure they've gotten into arguments. Now, granted, my wife and I really haven't gotten into, like yelling, screaming that I can think of. We've gotten into arguments where, you suck. No, you suck. And then we go off and we come back like 15 minutes later and go, you know what? You're right. I don't have, I don't want to say it's our age, but I'm literally going, look, I don't have time to sit here and argue with you. I understand where you're coming from. Hopefully you'll understand where I'm coming from. She's like, I know, I'm sorry. And we get within, 30, 40, sometimes the longest time was like an hour. And if it goes beyond an hour, I'm like, all right, hands down on the table, tell me what's going on. How can I fix this? How can I be helpful? But that's just the evolution of when you get into relationships. Some people don't learn that. Some people haven't gone through that. I don't know if my wife appreciates that about me or she completely hates that about me. People that have gotten married right out of high school, you've grown and evolved 15 times over. If you got married at 18 and now you're 40 something, you've grown and multiplied 15 times over, especially if you have children and stuff. Now, one study has shown right now that for those of you out there who are constantly, there are couples out there that live to fight. They live to fight. Those people that just can't, they're not happy unless there's drama in their life. Or they're not happy, well, I broke up with him today. And then the next day, I don't ever want to see him. And then 2 days later, you're like, oh, he's the best. We're going shopping. We're picking out, floor tile or some, I don't know what couples do. I've never been in that situation where you've been fighting all the time. Not me. I just, if it's fighting and here comes the text. You can text us too also. Text us too at 407-448-8800 anytime in the Queen City studio. Anytime I've gotten into a relationship and there's just like one-way fighting, like one-directional fighting, I'm like, you know what? I'm too mature. Not that I'm mature. Jesus Christ. Who am I? But I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to go through this. I think highly of myself and I just go, okay, there's the door. I'm putting one foot through it and then the other one's going to follow right behind it and down the road I go. But for some couples out there, studies have shown that cannabis can treat anxiety and PTSD. while enhancing, your everyday activity. Now, for couples that fight all the time, they say couples that smoke pot together stay together, according to new studies. Although data indicates that alcohol and marijuana increases the aggressiveness and tendencies of more fights. You smoked my last joint. Where's my King Cobra quart? Where's my Old English quart? I'm going to throw it at the wall. Where's my Mad Dog 2020? But they say that just marijuana alone makes you essentially chill the fuck out. You relax, you enjoy each other a little bit. Both of your minds wander, and if you've been together for any length of time, your minds kind of wander, and there's two waves, and they now and then the waves bump into each other, and that's where you guys connect. If you're taking, like, if you're watching this on the Under the Tent video, and you say, what's under the tent? If you go to DeaconLive, we have an audio section and a video section. And for every audio that you want to download or whatever, we have a video section as well, so you can watch what I'm doing here in the studio. But, your waves, and then boom, they hit the microphone, bump into each other, and that's when you connect. And then, you kind of do all that stuff. So one study in 2008 looked at 269 men controlled for alcohol use, as well as personal disorder and sympathies, found a positive correlation. When they started smoking marijuana, they were more relaxed. However, the subjects already had a history of violence before they started smoking marijuana. So I guess it chilled them out, but chilled them out enough to where, whatever. Another study found out that continuous cannabis use, the only study that considered how cannabis may affect previously nonviolent married couples, they studied 634 couples and found out that the first 9 years of their marriage, they had like physical aggression and stuff. And then after they started following these couples, they were very, very docile. They were very, very more sympathetic to each other's thoughts, each other's wishes, I guess. Hey, where do you want to go to eat? I don't care. I don't care either. Or, where do you want to go to eat? I don't care. Where do you want to go? Man, can we just order something? Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's do that. And it makes sense, but essentially what they're saying is the whole entire article, it's not proof that it'll fix everything, but if you come from a violent background, you're always going to have violent tendencies. This kind of chills you the fuck out a little bit, I guess. But they say that people that smoke weed together tend to stay together a little bit longer. And we'll get into more drug-related talk. How about that? That sounds like fun, right? Right, kids? And stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Give us a call anytime at 407-448-8800. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Actually, let's do this. On the Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio section, or on the radio website, there's a section, drop-down menu that says Deacon Live. Just click on Deacon Live, and on the left-hand side of that page says All Audio, and you get the first runs. You get this right here, right away. You click on that. iHeart and all the other branches and stuff, once I upload it takes about 24 hours for the servers to catch it. And then on the right-hand side of that page is a thing that says videos, podcast videos. And we call that section Under the Tent because we are literally under the veil, under the tent of the Deacon Live, whatever you want to call it. And every podcast, the audio has a video, and it's the same video the same audio that you see, actually with a little bit more on the outside, behind the scenes and stuff, because we have about 4 or 5 cameras here in the studio, and I always take breaks, and I give little mantras to the cameras as in between breaks and stuff. So it's kind of fun, kind of cool to see. It's like those. Now you can watch them in the gym if you want. They're very, very friendly. I do suggest putting headphones on because the audio. Sometimes I do cuss a lot. Sometimes, especially the last segment when I'm like, God damn it, I hate doing the first segment of the show because it's always off the hip. It's always uninspired, and I'm just anyway. So I'm shaking my head. So we were talking about marijuana helping couples stay together. People who smoke weed together stay together. One of the biggest things that couples bought each other this year, this past Christmas season, is when I say couples, people that have been together longer than a year. The number one item. Can you think of the number one item that people bought each other? For example, he bought it for her or she bought it for him. They didn't buy it for themselves together. It's not one of those joint gifts that a lot of people chintz out on. But I mean, the number one selling item. It goes anywhere from about $40 to $150, depending on the size of the actual item. Now, it helps you when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. Actually, it doesn't know. I'm just being silly there. That's right. Yep. The number one item that couples were buying each other this past Christmas or the holiday season is a weighted blanket. And I've been wanting to get a weighted blanket. I've been wanting to get a weighted blanket. And it made me feel so safe. I do want to get a weighted blanket. Right now, I've got a comforter. I've never slept with sheets. I can't stand sheets in the bed. Other than the one that covers the actual mattress, I can't sleep with a sheet. And always, a sheet comes off. Even in a hotel, sheet comes off. I always have to sleep with a comforter. And 9 times out of 10, I always either bring a comforter if I can, but I always like that thick, heavy comforter. And it makes sense now that people are sleeping with, or the heavy blanket is offered to people. Because right now, I've got this huge, real nice knitted, quilted blanket that we got from Mexico. And I've got that on top of my comforter. And the whole entire thing probably weighs maybe 10, 11, 12 pounds. But I do sleep with that. Hot or cold, doesn't matter. If it's hot outside, I crank the AC down to about 72. If it's cold outside, I'll open up all the windows. And I still sleep with that blanket on. It's a heavy blanket. Now, I didn't get a weighted blanket this year because I can't justify spending $150, but that was the number one item that couples were buying each other that have like sleep anxiety. Now, I have sleep anxiety. My wife, I don't know if she has sleep anxiety. It's kind of the same thing when dogs hear fireworks. They always say put like a heavy jacket or something on them. That anxiety, that being cuddled or something like that. And my wife, she has a hard time sleeping at night, but we take like melatonin and stuff. So that was the number one thing that I have to cross that off my list so I don't talk about it ever again. Number one item that couples were buying each other for this past holiday. Now, something that's been happening this past holiday, which is, it's totally, it's ridiculous. It's uncontrollable. And they're trying to control it now, is the fires in Australia. Holy Jesus, mackerel. Have you seen what's going on there? If you haven't turned on your TV in the last however many days or this has been going on, Australia's on fire. To put it bluntly, Australia's on fire. Now, when we say Australia's on fire, it's the dry season. It's no different than like California when we had the fires in California. Unfortunately, California is so densely populated that it damages a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff than the fires out in Australia are. From my understanding, Australia itself, there's not a whole lot, like in the center of Australia, there's not a whole lot of people living in the center of Australia. I don't know if it's because of they haven't figured out how to move water from one side of the island to the other. I got to burp again. Oh, excuse me. But for the most part, they just left the center of the place unabandoned, I guess. I don't know. So just to give you an idea what's going on in Australia, brush fires have been burning since last September. They have killed at least 25 people, destroyed 2,000 homes, and killed an estimated 500 million animals. In all, about 15 million acres has burned across the country. That's roughly the size of West Virginia. Okay, so now West Virginia, you know, if you look at the United States, if West Virginia was completely on fire, that's about the size of Australia. So here's what I have. Here's the problem I'm having. You know, people are saying, you know, oh, you know, make knit gloves for the koalas and the koala bears and the Australian in the outback and the kangaroos. Everyone, you know, there's dead kangaroos all over the place. And from my understanding, the kangaroos are just like the deer here in the United States, where they get so populated that they're actually kind of a nuisance. But people are sending money left and right to the, here I go, I'm going to get the phone calls. You can call me at 407-448-8800. And if you want to go even further than that and be completely mad at me, go to profitradio.com, click on Be Heard, opens up a microphone. You can send me a live voice recording right here to the station. Now, people are donating $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $6 million, all this money to you see them, all the U.S. actors, celebrities and stuff are sending money to Australia to help with the fires. Why? Why are we throwing money at the fire? Now, I think they sent over 600 and some odd volunteer fire department people to help with the fires. That's what they need help. They don't need money because there's a lot of things. Oh, we're sending money to help with the homes and stuff. No. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that because there's insurance out there. If your home was burnt down, if my ranch right here burnt down, I would get insurance money for it. Well, they need food and water and all that stuff. Okay, fine. Why are you sending it to Australia? It's an island. How are they going to get the food and stuff to the island? Now, if you want to load up a plane, hey, I'm going to buy a whole plane of cheese. How much is that? $250,000. That's all. Send them two planes of cheese over there and land over there, and then everyone's got cheese. And then someone else goes, well, what else do they need? Got any crackers? Yeah. We'll send them a plane of crackers. How much is that? Well, the plane and blah, 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 that's probably $150,000 because crackers aren't that expensive. Send them that. They're sending all this money over there. My question is, I understand everything they're sending over there to help out wherever it needs to be helped out. Now, it's the look at me, thumbs at me, look at me. I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'm sending money to Australia. I'm whoever sending money over. I'm helping. I'm a planetarian. I want to help everyone. All right, that's fine. I understand that. So let's say all the complete bills are paid. They're all paid and everything, and there's still money left over. Where does that money go? Where's that money go? Oh, prevention? No, you didn't hear what I said. Everything is paid for, from soup to nuts. Everything's paid for. All the koala bears are rehabilitated. All the you can't replace. I mean, you can replant trees. How much is that? Christ, I can buy 250 of them online, little saplings and stuff. I think it's like $500 for those, and that does, I think, 250 saplings does an acre. So, how many acres did I say? 15 million acres. So do the math on that. Anyways. I just think that they're just look at me. Oh, you know, the ballers at the club where they shell off the $1 bills like they're spreading it out there. They're making it rain. They're trying to make money rain on Australia. And at one time they're just where's this money when California gets on fire? These actors in California are sending all this money over to Australia, but yet California burns and they're like going, oh shit. You know, I just want to spend, a couple $1,000s to keep my house fine because they got 15 houses anywhere else. But I don't know. a double negative. Something's not right there. Something just doesn't sit right with me when all these our own celebrities, our U.S. celebrities, are sending money over to Australia. Now, if I'm wrong, that's fine. Please, by all means, tell me. Here's one right now coming right in. By all means, tell me if I'm wrong. But for the most part, I think insurance, the country itself, they're not a third world country by all means. But I think it's a look at me. It's a promotional thing for anyone who's got a new movie coming out. I know. When we come back, I'm going to get into a little bit more of stuff that pisses me off. How about that? You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us and do all the social network and stuff. And don't forget to go to the Real Deal section of Prophet Radio. That's PROPHET radio.com. And click on the Real Deal section. And you can see all the latest stuff from Real American Deals. They've got some... they're based out of Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. It's a company that likes to help like the little man out as far as getting their products out there to the world. And they're all made here in the United States, which is really great. And you can see all the stuff that they offer over there on the and make sure you like them on Facebook. And there's a link there as well. So one thing that I get, speaking of being in the American or American made and companies like that, when's the last time you got one of those telemarketer calls? Hey, let's lower your insurance rate. Let's up your home improvement loan. Let's do all that stuff. I got a phone call the other day, and I've seen the commercials on TV. I think it's called like Secure Auto something. It's a insurance company for your car. And I'm like, I've got a 2012 Chevy Silverado, and you don't think about like insurance. Well, I say you don't think about insurance. You don't think about your car. I take care of it religiously. Every was synthetic, so it's every 3,500. They say every 5,000, but there's a little counter on the truck itself that says oil change and oil life is 20%. Oil life is 70%. I always bring it in like when it's around 15%. I think I brought it in one time when it actually says change oil now, and I let it run down that load just because I think we were moving or driving to and from Florida. We were moving up here to the Carolinas. So the company called me, and that you get the recording and all that stuff, and it says we will insure your car, any car that's at least 20 years old or has less than, I think, 200,000 miles on it. And I go, okay, 20-year-old car. And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, well, what year was a 20-year-old? Oh my God, that is literally 2000. So if you have a car in the year 2000, it's almost 20 years old now. I mean, granted, they make cars a little bit better. They kind of slipped and poked at some of the way they make cars. But I mean, cars, if you say, oh, I got a car that was made in the 2000s, it doesn't mean that much anymore because you're like, all right, what year? Oh, 2003. Oh, so it's 17 years old. Or see how quickly I did math on that one? I don't know. Sometimes I'm savant. Sometimes I'm an idiot. But yeah, I mean, think about it. Cars that were made in 2000 are now 20 years old. Proud to say, I have got a 1992, you ready for this one? A Nissan, what they call a D21. I always call it a hard body. A D21, a Nissan D21 red. It's been repainted before, but it's solid. It's got, I think, 160,000 miles on it, and it's stick shift, 5 on the floor. It's a bench seat and stuff, and that's our little farm truck. We take up to the feed store and we throw stuff in the back of it. We don't mind getting in and out of it and have hay in and out of it. In the seats when we have our mucking boots on and stuff, we might get a little, mud inside. We might, and I say mud, dirt inside or hay inside, but that's what we bought it for. But when we bought it last year, We bought it last year, and if not last year, the year before, we almost paid $4,000 for that thing. $4,000 for a 1992, sorry, it's a 92 Nissan D21. But it's tits, man. I mean, it's, the engine block, if you've seen an engine when it's running, it'll wiggle around in an old car, man, it's solid. It's solid. The one thing we have to fix, of course, because of the transfer of the R21 to the Freon or whatever they called the new AC system in 98, we still have to get that. We've got all the parts in there. We just have to update it. But I mean, 2000, it doesn't mean anything anymore. 91, 92, and now it's a classic. Our car's now a classic, I guess. So when you have a car of that age, even in 2000, do you work on it yourself? So, I mean, you can't. I mean, I remember my grandfather and my dad, both of them, live and die by Ford. Live and die, swore up and down they'd never buy a Chevy. And then, in the 1980s and the 1990s, and you see people that can't, how do you change the oil in this thing? In the 2000s, even like my wife's car. Here's a prime example. How we've changed as far as, I wouldn't think of changing the oil in my wife's car. I wouldn't think of changing the oil in my truck. I think about changing the oil in the little Nissan. And, my wife's car, the map on her car, everything's got, digital this and self Bluetooth this and OnStar this and all the technical stuff that's on it. The map, she's got her car is a hotspot, but it won't upload a new map on her car. Well, you can just download it to not a SIM card, but an SD card, and then off the internet, and then stick it in her car, and it should update. No, it doesn't. They won't let you do that. You have to take it into the dealership just to update the map, so you can drive on the roads that you drive on every day. Because there's an extension highway that was built or being started to be built many years ago, and now it's done. And we bought her car about 2 years ago, and it still shows it doesn't exist because the map, it's not updated. So we have to take it in to update the map. Now, one guy who he has a YouTube channel, he lives and dies, and his whole life is fixing cars. So his whole entire life, he's got a YouTube channel out there about how I guess he's got his own mechanic shop and stuff like that. So he said, you know what? I am 40 some odd years old. Being a 44-year-old, you would think that having more kids would be something that we would never cross your mind. He said, my wife and I had another child. He had 3-week-old twins at the age of 44. Now, he's already got 3 children prior to this. So he's got 3-week-old twins. And he said, you know what? At the time, him and his wife were like going, okay, we need to go out and we need to buy all the stuff to get ready for the kids, 2 kids at this time. We had to buy the stroller, we had to buy the crib, the pack and play, the diaper changing table, all that stuff. And he was like going, I don't remember having all this stuff before. So he said, he works from home. His wife is a career woman outside of the home. And he said, you know what? I've got an extra, and this was his job. He's a mechanic. He has all this stuff in his garage. And through a YouTube channel, he does very well on his YouTube channel. I'm not going to give his YouTube channel. He can buy airtime with me. But if you're watching us on the video section of DeaconLive, you can see that he's got a literally a stackable toolbox that's on the wheels and stuff. And he's turned it into a changing table, which is very smart. You open up the top, pray to God that top doesn't come back down, though. But it's got the hydraulic lifts on it. He's put pads and stuff. So here's a picture of his kid. And I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see me pointing at the screen. And he's got his 3-week-old daughter on there, one of the twins. And he's got all the bearing pulled drawers to pull out the wet wipes and the powder and then push it back in there. And it keeps everything nice and neat and uncluttered and stuff. And at the very bottom, he's got like these wire bends for all the newborn Pampers or the newborn diapers and stuff. You know how newborns, they need the real small ones and they crap in them every 30 seconds. Not that I know. I just hear stories about friends of mine having kids and they crap in the diapers every 34 seconds. So, he's got the whole thing laid out, and it's a rollable thing. He can move it from room to room. So if he wants to sit there and watch NASCAR, he's a car guy. He wants to watch NASCAR. He can sit there and roll this thing into the living room. Probably doesn't have a theater set up like I do, but for the most part, he could sit there and change the table or change the diapers and stuff on this toolbox. The standing toolbox. You've seen them. Snap-on makes them. Any inline tool out there makes a rolling cart with all the little bearing drawers and stuff. So that's what he's done. I thought that was kind of neat. It's kind of funny. He said, you know what? It makes my life a little bit easier. I don't feel so funny changing, my kids' diapers on this Winnie the Pooh standing thing. He goes, this actually has function and it's practical and it works very well for me. And so that's what he's done. He's got a cart. Now I've got one here. I've got one here at the station. I've got a Husky set from Home Depot. They were on sale, like the triple stack. It's got the big doors down below and stuff. And I put all the extra, when you buy electronics, all the extra USB cords, all the extra XLR cables. No one uses those. All the HDMI cables, all the other connections and stuff, because I always had them in one box. And now I've got a pull drawer. I've got a rolling toolbox. Same principle. So I've got one, he's got one, and maybe we should just all be friends. When we do that, when we come back, I'm going to talk about someone who got in trouble for being friends with someone, which makes absolutely no sense. Hollywood's giving him a hard time about it. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live. I'll be right back. Oops. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you join us on our Prophet Radio, prophetradio.com, and click on the Be Heard section. If anything I've said has offended you or made you think about some stuff, there's a little section called Be Heard. Click on that, and it sends us a audio message right here to the station. We'll play it on the next podcast. Of course, you're listening to this after we talked about some. And with any podcast, if you want to talk about anything that we've talked about on the last couple podcasts, by all means, click on the Be Heard section. You can be anonymous. Just put your name in there. It sends us a generic email, kind of like one of those scrambler emails, and sends it to us, and we'll play it on the air. So there you go. And don't forget to follow the Real American Deals, and that section of the Prophet Radio. Click on Real Deals and see all the stuff that's going on there. Now, one person that's having a hard time making friends, well, he's got a friend. Everyone's got a friend. We all have a friend in Jesus. Anyways, so Vince Vaughn was caught on Twitter. Someone posted this video on Twitter. Vince Vaughn's shaking Donald Trump's hand. Vince Vaughn meets with the president, Donald Trump, at a college football playoff champion game. And he said, you know what? Hey, good to see you. Nice to meet you. Good to whatever. It's kind of like what happened to Ellen. Ellen was sitting at one of the football games in Texas next to George W. Bush. And she said, can't we all, and when I say get along with everyone get along with everyone. Now, Vince Vaughn, shook his hand, and this is recently, shook Donald Trump's hand. Now, here's the thing. So he's being shamed. He's being thrown over the coals in Hollywood. Now, granted, before Donald Trump became president, he's probably got a list or a photo album, probably a digital photo album, of everyone he's ever shook hands with. I mean, we've seen him on our Facebook pages. Him shaking hands with Hillary Clinton, him shaking hands with all the celebrities and stuff that hate him now. So now this is just more recent. so Vince Vaughn's catching the backlash, the Ellen DeGeneres thing. The same thing. He's getting slapped in the face because he shook his hand. Well, that doesn't make sense. Hey, you're a smart man. I'm a smart man. We see things differently. Go on about your day. The guy who sees things differently is this gentleman here. Now, think about this. We're going out on a limb here. Think about someone who's committed murder. All right, someone committed murder, and they were sentenced to life in prison. You are sentenced to life in jail. Now, during that time, let's say, you're getting up of age, and you're having problems now. You committed the murder when you were 18, and now you're 70 something, and you're 70 something years old, and now you're having complications, and you actually pass away, and because the way that the healthcare system is, you have to resuscitate this person that's passed away, no matter what they've done or whatever the case may be. You have to resuscitate them. And now you resuscitate this gentleman who was sentenced to life. Now, this gentleman here, I don't want to talk to you, Anderson Cooper. So Benjamin Schreiber was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Now, in March 2015, he developed large kidney stones that led to septic poisoning, which caused his death this past August. Now, he died. He dead. I'm done. And then the prison brought him back to life. And he said, you know what? I died, and this is my second life. I should be set free. Now, I don't know if that works that way. Now, if you're sentenced to one life sentence, die, and legally declared dead, and then brought back to life, who knows? I mean, you've technically served one life, and this is now your second life. Now, if you were sentenced to, 2 life sentence or 3 life sentence, technically you would have to die one more time than your life sentence. So if they say you have 3 life sentences, you have to die 3 times, and then on the 4th time, technically, I guess they would let you go free. Well, he's pleading his case. He's going up in the Iowa Supreme Court and fighting this, whether he is alive and should remain in prison or be let go. So I just want your opinion on that. If he's died, I mean, literally declared dead and brought back to life, and then would that be contractually, would he be, free? I don't know. You can call us at the station at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time at the Queen City studio at that same number. So I just thought I'd bring that up. And we're gonna get into one more thing here, and I'm gonna let you go here in just one sec. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Make sure you go to prophetradio.com and click on the Real Deals section, and you can see all the stuff that the Real American Deals has. We were talking about Trump earlier. There's a pair of socks up there that's got the Trump logo and everything on it and Trump's face on it. There is bumper stickers. Get your 2020 bumper stickers on them now. And there's a actual, I don't want to badmouth them, but there's a Trump coin. I think it goes for like $40 some odd. If you got one of those diehard liberals or Democrats and you just want to say, hey, you know what? Here's a coin for you. It's kind of a joke to them, or punch in the cheek, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they've got a bunch of Trump stuff up there. And there's other stuff up there as well. Make sure you scroll through all the stuff. It's updated daily. I think they do about 2 updates every day. And you can scroll through all the stuff. There's videos on stuff, how to make money with your cell phone, as far as like being a camera, what do they call them, where you go to crime scenes and stuff. They show you how to do that. There's all these services and goods that are available through the Real American Deals, and find those on Profit Radio. Now, speaking of deals, when's the last time you ordered pizza? Because the pizza, I haven't ordered a pizza in a very long time. Now, the pizza game is getting crazy out of control, because I'm seeing I'm seeing this through my Facebook feed. This is a key. Now, they say pineapple should not belong on pizzas, and I've seen an actual dill pickle pizza, which actually looks kind of good when they do like a thick cheesy mozzarella with pickle slices and stuff on it. That in a pizza sauce, that looks really good. Another pizza has come out claiming to be one of the top pizzas that are going to be ordered this 2020 news cycle. A kiwi pizza is the latest pizza topping that divides everyone that loves pizza, whether it be pineapple or no pineapple. I think we can all come together and say that a kiwi pizza is, I don't know, for the most part, and they cut them like pepperonis, and they put them on there. Now, I don't know what a hot kiwi, oh God. Did I say a hot kiwi? You know where kiwis come from, right? They come from Australia. So, am I saying that a hot kiwi, hot kiwi? Do we take the hot? Can I stop saying hot kiwi? Can we just assume we're going to eat the kiwi as respirations? What do they call it? As memoriam for the Australian fires. So yeah, I got to get out of this one. Kiwi pizza. That's the latest topping out there. So if you see it on the menu, maybe donations go to helping Australia, and then the funds will, I don't know, do what? I don't know. There's a lot of money going out there. Here's the second thing. One more thing, or actually a couple more things, and I'll let you go. Speaking of dill pickle pizza, there's actually a dill pickle grilled cheese sandwich that everyone is loving right now. Now, I could get into a dill pickle cheese sandwich, or grilled cheese sandwich. I've done grilled cheese sandwiches before and stuck like jalapenos in it, which is really good. But I do it with like American cheese or a Munster cheese, a soft melting cheese. So dill pickle grilled cheese sandwich is going to be the next thing out there. So keep an eye out for it. Dill pickle grilled cheese sandwich. And I think they use mozzarella and cheddar, which I guess would make it a little sharper than to mix with the dill pickle, which makes sense. It makes sense. You know what doesn't make sense? Do you remember this? Hold on. I had these things. You know, we were talking about stuff in like marrying your high school sweetheart and stuff. If my high school sweetheart knew that I collected these things, that's probably why I didn't get married in high school. And these guys are making a new Monopoly board. You know, the Parker Brothers that makes Monopoly, and they've got different versions of different games and icons and stuff. Parker Brothers coming out with a new Monopoly board based on this franchise right here.
Dodger has never had a family or a friend he could call his own. Until now.
What's that?
They came out to help us.
Meet the Garbage Pail Kid.
Starring Nat Nerd, Windy Winston, Messy Tessie,
Give him a chance, Tangerine. You'll like him.
Alligator, Valerie Vomit, Lisa Gregg,
I'm gonna get fired for this.
Foul Phil,
Nice to the totes.
The Garbage Pail Kids movie. They may not be pretty, but boy, They make great friends.
So yeah, there's the Garbage Pail Kids, and they had, you know, matching almost like baseball cards and stuff, and I had Garbage Pail Kids cards. Now Monopoly has taken this franchise now, and they're going to make a Monopoly board based on the Garbage Pail Kids. Our friends over at Bloody Disgusting announced that Monopoly is fixing to get a whole new, more grosser avenue than what we're used to. Of course, based on the Monopoly, the original Monopoly board, they're revising the 1980s Garbage Pail Kids with this game. The classic sticker artwork, all the illustrations and stuff. So keep an eye out on the shelves if you want to get your friends something. Maybe if you smoke a lot of weed with your wife and stuff, and maybe you guys, if you were joined at that time and you were friends of the Garbage Pail Kids, you can play the Garbage Pail Kids Monopoly game, which is being released here shortly in the next couple of months. So that'd be cool, right? To play some, oh man, I remember having these guys and you smoking weed and all that stuff. Baby, I love you. Skip skip the park free zone or whatever. I forget how to play Monopoly, but there you go. All right, on behalf of everyone that is taking the time to listen to us and downloaded us, I'd like to thank each and every one of you. Keep an eye out for all the new eating trends. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, and the way you do that, and all our social networks, and the way you do that is go to profitradio.com and click on the social network pages, and then make sure you also go to Real Deals and sign up for or click on all the Real Deals that are happening from Kansas City, Missouri, from a company called Real American Deals, and you can get your Trump Expo stuff right there. On behalf of everyone here, I'd like to thank you. My name is the Deacon, saying goodnight, and good night.
Oh no.
Bye.
Wait! Come back!
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.